Welcome, beloved Awakened One. I'm Monica Bermudez, and this is the podcast of the Ascended Earth, the transfiguration of the new you, the new human. We are an ever-evolving human, learning, growing, expanding, and upgrading. What you are and always will be is a divine, cosmic galactic source from source, more than you can imagine. But not all of us are living to our fullest potential. It is time to embrace what you are and unlock your magical keys and spiritual gifts. This podcast is a transmission of energy codes meant to unlock other dormant DNAs to remember, reconnect, revive, and renew you to the new human, the avatar that you are. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, beloved. It's Monica Bermudez. I want to talk about the quantum wealth and abundance and unlocking the keys to your own abundance. So my story with money has been one that I grew up with this whole mindset that was very poor and lacking. And I saw that working hard was the way to earn money, and that being spiritual or having any business that was spiritual related, through energy work and all this other stuff, meant being poor. And that's actually very twisted. And so I had to dissolve a lot of this in order to launch my current energy business, entrepreneurial, stepping into this path of working with the energies in order to be receiving and to get money and the resources available for this to happen. Because that is the way, we're all living right now in this matrix of this financial system. So just wanted to start off, by talking about some of my story, and then I'll jump into some areas that are so important, so key to also unlocking your own abundance and sharing some tips and exercises for you to try as well. So what I found is that the more I dissolved these patterns and the deeper that I went into more of the money related stories and other, subconscious patterns that were there from a generational patterns of inheritance of that were sabotaging and limiting. And they were just illusions. And the more I did that, the more that I was tapping within my own abundance. And there was a lot of this quantum entanglement that, related to unworthiness and undeserving of receiving. And so it was very difficult for me to receive. So there was, some aspect of that as well. Just felt that I had to be always giving and be like this martyr who sacrificed self. And I'm sure that I had many lifetimes ago and in many lives as human in different roles where I was some kind of martyr and I did sacrifice myself for, everybody else. Like literally, that meant probably dying that way. However, though, that is no longer the case and no longer needed for this lifetime of ascension that we're all in this pathway of this greater awakening and greater ascension. Because this is it. This is the big ascension of all ascensions. Because we've gone through many cycles in the human lifetimes of opening up to this ascension and then going into this other cycle. But I feel this is the biggest and the greatest of them that is permanent. And so this is, the time that the lifetime where you're not required to be some kind of martyr. You're not required to always be giving and sacrificing yourself. It is a time of balancing all that, of being able to give and receive. And so a lot of this, I ended up clearing it myself. And I also helped many clients also clear this within themselves too, as they were also finding the same type of patterns inside themselves in regards to this whole thing with wealth and abundance. So the key, though, to unlock your abundance is you. And it's not that simple, to be honest, because sometimes, we get in the way. And a lot of times when we get in the way, it has to do with this whole fear and worry of being able to live if we don't have, the money and the resources to sustain us in this lifetime or in this, matrix that we find ourselves as well. But just know that it is our divine right to always be in abundance and wealth. And the reason why it starts with you, because there is this willingness to want to really dig into those deeper patterns of the subconscious level and unconscious related to generational or even like past lives as well, in relation to like spirituality and doing, this kind of energy work. And having that willingness and the courage to do it and clear it within yourself is just having that initial initiative to clear a lot of it within yourself is a lot of courage and strength to do. And so one of the things that, we collectively want to dissolve the most is this whole collective consciousness around that spirituality equals to being poor. So it doesn't even equate to being wealthy. And I feel like some of this also comes from these past lives of where you see, like, if you feel like you've lived a past life where you were some kind of monk or a priest or, something to do with the religious field. And you brought some of that mindset back of, vows of poverty type thing that may be playing in the background like a broken record and just being at this subconscious level. And, the vows of poverty was one of the biggest one that I had to clear inside myself because I did live many lifetimes in a lot of these religious areas. And that's probably why I also had like a lot of religious trauma also in this life that I also cleared within myself too. So, when I speak of spirituality, I'm not speaking of religious necessarily. I'm speaking more of being a light worker, a star seed, and a way shower, more of these cosmic star seeds who are in the earth right now, which is you, to help with the shifting going on of the collective consciousness here on this earth for our ascension and our awakening. So this is one of them. This is one of those patterns that is time to shift and just go into just wake up to the truth that you already are abundant, you already are prosperous, and you already are wealthy. And so it is time to shift this within yourself, but also in the collective consciousness at the same time. And it all starts by doing this internally within yourself. And this is your divine right. It doesn't matter, what financial system we may find ourselves at this time. It could be a digital currency. It could be the paper or the coin type currency. The fact is that you already have this wealth within yourself, and it is your divine right. And it doesn't matter if you're a starseed light worker or whatever role that you're playing right now in this capacity. You deserve to have all the resources, the time and energy to be able to fulfill that in relation to your purpose, relation to your mission. And so these are very key factors to know. One of the things to know about the energy of money that also was one of the biggest, patterns in so many, and especially in the collective, is this old saying that money is the root cause of all evil. And honestly, the money is like a tool. You can think of money as a tool. because it's a tool that can be used for good means or a tool that could be used for evil means. So my point is the energy that you put into money will have this rippling effect and this boomerang as well in receiving the amount of money in your life, in your own wealth. It all has this, big impact on it. So it's about your mindset, your heart set that you place the energy in this money. So it is, if you're not being considerate to money and wasting it, then you're just wasting energy, is what you're telling money. But if you treat it with care and you treat it as a tool, as a means that if you were to give, for example, to charity, right? If you had the abundance of the money, the charity. And so in that act of charity, of goodness, it is also creating these rippling effects of energy to receive more of that abundance of the money. So that is, the areas of the energies that we ourselves, have the capacity to make those changes within ourselves. And the moment that we're able to shift those patterns that we are aware of, or start becoming aware of those things that may be having this mindset and this lacking or this fear or this worry around the money, and how we are telling our stories about it and where those stories are starting, through our generational, through our karmic, cycles of the many human lifetimes that we had on this planet and experience all sorts of things in our life. And that is, the key is what you are telling yourself right now. Paying attention to those really deep patterns and subconscious patterns within that may be there, causing this from being able to see what your abundance already is. So just to jump into a short exercise, and this exercise will help the collective consciousness as well, because you are starting with yourself and that awareness. So if you do have some kind of journal or something to write with, or if you're not in a place where you do have your journal, you can come back to this. But just think about these questions and try to journal what comes up for you. The first question is, what are the stories on money and wealth and abundance for you? And just think about that, write about it, whatever is coming to you in that moment to, that needs to be said. And the next question is, where do you feel it's been holding you back? And just ponder, think about it, just write, whatever's coming up for you. And so these questions are important to know, to understand, your own awareness of your own patterns, that things like if you feel that you're lacking in your life, you feel like you're not feeling abundant or wealthy or in any way prosperous, then these questions will help to dive in deep into that knowingness of yourself and having that conscious awareness of it, so that you're able to know what to do next, which comes into the next play of this next exercise, is to start building a better relationship with your own abundance and your own money, and which is also going to unlock a lot of your own abundance as well. Because right now that we are in these really potent, heightened type energies for this ascended earth, frequencies of energies, that the energy is a very quantum level. So that means that the more that you're able to dissolve and start acknowledging and seeing some of these patterns and clearing them, the more that you're able to tap more into your own quantum wealth and quantum abundance that you already are. So things will accelerate. And so these exercises, these little tips will help as well. Now, these are just some examples which you can also modify to your own means, to what connects to you. And you can always come back to re-listen to all of this again. So jumping into this with full consciousness now and being aware of what was written before, So by doing this, we're going to jump into certain decrees and declarations, almost like proclamations. So it's always good to also practice, some affirmations, proclamations, and declarations. But making a decree is very potent. It's going to that level of, say, proclamation, but I feel it's a much stronger, going at the soul level. And so with that, the first one where the decree is made, these are the I statements that you'll say to yourself, and you can say them silently, you can say them out loud. I declare that my abundance and wealth is in all aspects of my life, including spirituality. And you have to say these with confidence, right? Feel them as being the truth. And just know that this is something that I do myself, that constantly, maintenance in myself to keep reminding myself, even when I feel like I'm kind of falling, out of the path of this, where things are aligned to the soul, regards to wealth and abundance. So I'll say that again. I declare that my abundance and wealth is in all aspects of my life, including spirituality. And the second declaration of decree, I declare being spiritual is wealthy and abundant. And this is a decree that is being now engraved within your own heart. And the last one is, money comes to me always. And I decree that money comes to me always. So practice those, keep doing that. Just know that if for some reason you are feeling some kind of resistance in your heart when saying this, it means that something is working and something is starting to shift. So it's normal to have that be triggered and being stirred right now. And it just also means to continue saying them and continue working on them and doing your part to work on shifting that energy within yourself. So now let's bring this to the next exercise, which is working with the collective consciousness. So that is at the individual level. So just know that it is also supporting the greater consciousness of everyone who is part of this collectiveness. And it is impacting the quantum field. So just feeling that quantum field now within your own heart and connecting with all others through your own source into the collective consciousness of many, and shifting that whole pattern of relation to wealth and abundance, of lack, shifting it to the trueness of the abundance and prosperity that you are and that everybody is in the collectiveness. And the more that you do this, and the more that others also do these exercises, it's going to create a greater shift in the quantum field. Because the more of us who come together, it builds this greater strength of energy in the collective consciousness. That is the key. The key is you of unlocking your own abundance, which also means that it will shift this collective consciousness in a greater number, because right now we are working with quantum energies. So let's place all those intentions in the quantum field through our own heart of this collective consciousness that we are all connected. So know this to be true. And just remember that you are, by divine right, already abundant and already prosperous. And it is time to unlock this within yourself and step into your fullness. So I look forward to connecting with you in another episode. Sending you love. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.